second question here, we have a cross section of a container. So cross section means here we have a bowl, let's say, and then we cut this bowl in half, right? So the view of this diagram is actually from this side. Okay, so this means that when we open this container, right, here is actually curved. Okay, so this curved surface, we have an equation which is y equals to ax squared, right? So now we need to find what is the mass of rice if this container can be tightly closed, which means this part we need to put the rice and what is the total mass of it, right? And also it gives us this rice density, which is 1.182 gram per cm cube. Right, so here we have only two choices. Either we find the area or find the volume. But since rice is 3D, so very obvious that we need to find the volume lah, okay, of this part. Right, so there's a problem. Where is the x and y axis? How do I find the volume without it? Okay, so here, how do we put the x axis and y axis is, for x axis, we put it at the ground. Okay, put it here. The y-axis, we put it at the middle of this curve. Okay, something like this. Reason is because I would like to make left side and right side symmetry. Means both of the sides must have the similar shape. Don't want to do it something like this. Okay, let's say y-axis is here. It will be very hard to calculate later. Okay, so again, x-axis put the ground, y-axis put it in the middle. Okay, easier calculation. So now, since we are finding volume, this means we need to rotate one of the axis, right? So this is our step 1, choose the axis. But unfortunately here we don't have, it's okay, so let's see, x or y. So here, if we rotate x-axis, okay, somewhere below, doesn't make sense because below doesn't have anything, right? So it's obvious that we need to use y-axis. Okay, step 1 complete. So now, second step, identify the shape. So where should we, where is the region we should rotate? Okay, technically it should be this side. Okay, why I don't include this side is because, so let's say if we imagine this region is rotated around the y-axis, technically this part will be included as well, right? So we just include one side only, don't include left and right, right? Just one side, because the other will be included when we rotate. Right, so now to find the volume for this part, let's take a step back. Let's imagine ourselves we are finding the area of this region. So imagine we are finding the area of this region and using y-axis. Technically this part is area under the curve, right? Area under the curve. And we know that using area under the curve, we only use integration, the integration formula. So since area we're using the integration formula, then volume we should also use the integration formula. Okay, don't have to use the big shape minus small shape way or add some additional shapes to find the volume. So we just need to use the integration formula to find volume, right? So first thing first, pi, and then integrate in terms of y because we are rotating around the y-axis, so inside should be x, and don't forget the square. Right, so now we need to integrate from the lowest point of this curve, lowest point of this region from the y-axis is 0. Okay, highest point, so highest point is here. So what is the coordinates of this point? Okay, we can use the 60 cm and 30 cm here lah. So if x-axis, and since we are putting the y-axis in the middle, so this 60 can be split into 30, 30. So the x the x coordinate should be 30, and the y coordinate should be 30 as well lah, because this is the height. So this is our point lah. So here the maximum value of y should be 30. Okay. And then for this x square, we do change it to be in terms of y. So let me use this equation, right? So let's change a bit. X squared on the left. So now it's y divided by a. But what is a? Right, so to find the value of a, quite simple, because here we have this coordinate already. We just need to substitute inside this equation, okay, the same equation, right? So this one, oops, so substitute x and y with 30, so you'll get a equals to 1 over 30. And if we substitute back here, right, this one will become 30y, right? So this x squared I will change it to 30y. Then later on, I need to integrate this one, so 30y squared. So square comes from here, 1. I need to add 1 to the power, and we need to divide the new power, which is 1 plus 1, 2. Okay, and then we substitute 30 and 0 inside. Is this working? So make sure you write out this working. And for this 0, I substitute 0, so everything becomes 0 lah. That's why there's a 0 here. Then simplify, then we'll get the volume, which is 13500 pi cm cube. So our working doesn't stop here, because the question asks the mass of rice, not the volume of the rice. So let's change our volume to mass using the density. Okay, so this 13500 pi, we need to multiply this density. Okay, but if we multiply this value, cm cube will become gram. But in the question, it tells us to find kg. So here we need to divide 1000 lah. Okay, so once we put this inside calculator, you will get your final mass of rice, which is 50.14 kg.